Welcome to Akhand Vidyashram, the first institute of impeccable wisdom. We are discussing about Tantra, the physical anatomy, physiology, biochemistry and psychology. Today we will discuss about Svadhisthana Chakra. You can see the three pictures on top. The one is from Sat Chakra Nirupana, the ancient Indian description of Sat Chakra Nirupana with 6 petals. Then second is from Akhand, and third is the physical anatomy as seen by neuroscientists. Now, Svadhisthana Chakra is the second sacral chakra, a center of reproduction, ojas and tejas, intelligence and otherwise. Since we are talking about Tantra, I have spoken about 10 chakras, not 7 chakras. As far as the chakras are concerned, they are clockwise movement as a wall shape, as the picture you can see. Right rotations, clockwise rotation increase the energy and reverse reduces energy, and these are the 10 centers. Now I am bringing the ancient Indian wisdom into the picture. Sat Chakra Nirupana is the oldest book of Tantra which talks of only 6 chakras, not of 7 chakras, and doesn't even talk of 10 chakras, and talks of 6 goddesses which are responsible for controlling these 6 chakras. Muladhara Chakra, Svadhisthana, Nabhi, Anahata, Vishuddhi and Ajna. This is where 6 chakras are talked about, Sat Chakra Nirupana. And first chakra, as I have been told you earlier, I have been very clear, everybody knows is Muladhara Chakra, the foundation chakra, root chakra or basic chakra. This is where Kundalini sleeps for rest. This is where sympathetic system comes to 0 level. At the same time, no sympathetic and parasympathetic, but homeostasis goes on in this particular center. If this is perfect, balance with the left and right is maintained, we can be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and happy, and you can lead a perfectly healthy life by and large. In this also the 3 descriptions of old Sat Chakra Nirupana, Akhand as well as physical body have been shown. And when this particular chakra and organs below that, mean whole of lower extremities, are fully controlled by this particular chakra, the concentration you can see within 2 spheres of the hemisphere are the brain itself, and that is inside, not outside. So the Muladhara Chakra of the head, Asahasrara Chakra, becomes the Muladhara Chakra for the higher consciousness, and in the process all the 7 layers of the earth element are very well known to you. Atal, Vital, Sutal, Tatal, Dastal, Mahatal and Patal. Once this is known, your concentration of earth is perfectly very well, and you can lead a beautiful life on earth and enjoy the fruits of Mother Earth. Now, once the Kundalini rises, it goes up through Sushma, Ida, Pingla and Sushmana nadis, and particularly Ida and Pingla are with the sympathetic system, and Sushmana is the vertebral column. And there is a balance with the left and right of Ida and Pingla, which is where Sushmana comes to play a role. Beyond that is another stage which comes. Now, as I've told you, sympathetic system is connected with Ida Nadi and Pingla Nadi, and the balance in Sushmana Nadi is all the 3 together. Once sympathetic system is perfectly normal, no excitement for more energy, and reduction for rest, digestion, and that the balance would give you a perfectly healthy life. That is sympathetic system by and large centers on Divyank alone. There are 45 ganglion which are arising from 28 preganglion nerves. That is what Vidishin. As a result, you will have a perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, happy homeostasis and beautiful life by and large. If Muladhara is perfectly balanced and increase and decrease is balanced, the whole spectrum is beautiful, you will have absolutely no problem. And that is what shows that if Ida and Pingla and Sushmana are closed, you will have a very good concentration, contemplation of the autonomic nervous system which centers around reptilian. That is what reptilian brain is, and that is what basic tantra is all about, or Sat Chakra Nirupana is all about. Now there comes the question of Brahma Granthi, when energy from Muladhara Chakra to go into the ventricles of the brain is through Brahma Granthi. When this is broken, only then energy can go inside. Ashtang Yoga of Patanjali, which controls the mind, it goes to Kundalini Yoga and Antar Yoga, and only then a man becomes a perfect human being. Till such stage, you are just like a reflection of reptilian brain alone, or you can have the concentration of mammalian brain. But reptilian, mammalian, to go to perfect human being, this particular concentration is very, very important. Now this I have shown the structure in this particular thing is spinal cord by and large extends up to L2 stage of the vertebral column or lumbar 2. Below that only equine nerves, that is Brahma Granthi or Cauda equina, is one thing very, very clear. And this is a structure which I am showing. Right of the spinal cord you can see up to L2 only. Below that you can say Akada Equina, that is Brahma Granthi. That is the disconnection between Muladhara Chakra and the vertebral column. Mula Chakra, both the side is associated with paravertebral chain of the sympathetic system, but this disconnection does not let you go inside the ventricles of the brain and make you perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and human being, just like the perfect human being designed by nature. This concentration has to be broken, only then you go to the next stage. I have shown that once this is eliminated, only then you realize the 10 chakras beautifully. And then only Muladhara to Svadhisthana to Nabhi to Manipura to Anhata, Vishuddhi, Ajna, Agyan, Vigyan, Pragyan to Sahasrara Chakra takes place only after breaking this Granthi, which is called Brahma Granthi, as such. Now this is the stage of the ventricle. The Kundalini has to get from Muladhara, breaking Brahma Granthi, get into Brahma Nadi, which is central canal of the spinal cord, and rise to the third ventricle and be in place of in front of pineal gland, and that is the third eye of Lord Shiva. In that your concentration, contemplation from 2 dimension, length and breadth, increases to 10 dimension. You can see almost every aspect simultaneously there, and what you see with eye is only a limited like cell of only 3 letters, but here you can see 10 dimensions simultaneously, effortlessly, better than electron microscope. And this is where the concentration, the inner sight, comes even more important than what it had been earlier. Now comes the Svadhisthana Chakra, which I am going to talk about it today. So far we have given the first description. We are going to see part of it as we move on. So Svadhisthana Chakra is another beautiful vermilion lotus place inside the Sushumna Nadi at the root of the genital. I told you now only Sushumna Nadi starts. Before that, the Sushumna Nadi does not come to play directly from Muladhara Chakra. Muladhara Chakra, Brahma Granthi, and then only Sushumna Nadi, and the bottom of that is what you have Svadhisthana Chakra. There are 6 letters which are there, and then 6 things, and the shiny color of lightning, and the sound is warm, whereas in Muladhara is Lam. We are going to talk about it mantra, Bij mantras later. And this is a particular structure which Sat Chakra Nirupana talks about it. You have warm, the phonetic sound. You can see the crescent, which is water element, and also the 6 letters. 4 letters of Muladhara Chakra, and 6 of that are the total 10 letters are clear in these 2 itself. Now this is the picture which is given in Svadhisthana, Lord Vishnu with the 2 heads with a crocodile and water. I think that description is very, very good. and now I have converted that into a khand, and then you can see 10 and 6 in a lotus, which is Divyank ratio as such. This is how 4 and 6 is also Divyank. 6 and 10 is also Divyank. I think that is a beautiful thing to show whole design is based on Divyank alone. Now come to the Svadhisthana Chakra as such. As I told you, the earth is a earth Muladhara Chakra is earth element or solid matter, which is 38.1966%. When come to the Svadhisthana Chakra is the water element, and that's it. And this is a description from Sat Chakra Nirupana as such. And the sound is warm, symbol is moon, and number of lotus 6, and element water is Apa Guja, vehicle Makara the crocodile, energy is the sexual energy is very powerful, and Sushma Nadi is vertebral column, and presiding deity Vishnu Conch, and other things are very beautifully described by Satchakra Nirupana itself. I think that was a highly classified thing, keeping in mind this was done thousands and thousands of years ago. I have converted whole into inner khand. Now come to state concentration of sacral parasympathetic. Now we are going to talk of clearly about Svadhisthana Chakra and its association with sacral parasympathetic nervous system. How beautiful it has brought the knowledge to me to show that where ancient have given, but modern sciences by and large are very, very deficient. Now look at this particular picture at the bottom. You have the sacrum segment of the spinal cord, S1, S2, S3, S4 and S5. All the three are from there. But you can see only 3 nerves arising from S2, S3 and S4. And they arise from lateral horn cells of sacrum S2, sacrum 3, sacrum 4 only, not 1 and 5. First, and this is again 2 and 3 is into Divyank ratio itself. That's very interesting. But it supplies organ to the 5 organs. 3 nerves, 5 organ systems, which are, what are they? Rectum, kidneys, urinary bladder, uterus and ovaries or testes as such. So these are the 5 things which are the part of the pelvic system as such. They are the one which get activated, and this is, so you can see the divine mathematics, how it makes things very clearly. So physiologically, let's say rectum, anus, relaxation, kidney, urine formation, bladder, relaxation, penis, erection, and uterus, stimulation. These are the sympathetic or parasympathetic action. The opposite is in sympathetic. Parasympathetic would give you penile erection and uterus stimulation, etc., and also vaginal secretion, etc. When this is active, the blood flow to the kidneys, testes and ovaries and the respiratory organs would increase considerably, and they would produce testosterone in males much better, and estrogen in female is much more. And once that is get, then your reproductive health is going to be perfect. And when reproduction is healthy, only then you can have a perfectly healthy, wealthy human life. And I make one thing very, very clear from my understanding. Testosterone is the most important hormone in the body, because when you have abundance of testosterone, only then you become a perfectly male. When testosterone is adequate, RBC production will be more, hemoglobin will be more, and oxygen concentration will be more, which is going to make you very powerful. Same thing for muscle building. Testosterone is very essential. If you have testosterone correct, you can maintain a very muscular body even in your 70s, 80s, 90s, 100 also. You will be as powerful as young, provided you maintain yourself with perfect food habits and no defective thing at all. No alcohol, no smoking, no drugs, anything which can reduce your sensitivity should not be there. Everything should be to make your testosterone positive. If you want to be intelligent, super intelligent, intuitive, and be into the universal consciousness. The secret for man to be very genius, he has to abundant of testosterone, but within the normal limits. Too much abundance without a balance of the sympathetic and parasympathetic could also be dangerous. That's the reason many people who have too much which they cannot control, they get into all the bad habits and become criminals and all put into prison. So even sexuality has its own limitation. You cannot be irregular in it. Get married, settle down, work from home, have a healthy wife, healthy children, healthy family, everything centers around and can make you very intelligent and super intelligent and intuitive to the come. And I make it from thinking person, I am only from home, nothing other than that. Nobody can point fingers at me and we can do wonderfully very well. I have used the testosterone for muscular activity, intelligence, oxygen, concentration, contemplation, other thing. I think that speaks volume for brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is great character, not stopping a celibacy as such. And I make one thing, celibacy, brahmacharya, running away from family home is not going to give you anything. I have not seen even one brahmachari doing anything which is really divine in nature. It is against the laws of nature. Get married, be at home, do wonderfully well as I've done, everybody else can do it. Now comes the question, only because of having testosterone, understanding how the male has to be, and I have understood that only when I am in tune with my wife or my counterpart, consort, by and large with all the concentration of sincerity, integrity, otherwise, only then I have been the first person in the history of mankind who has been able to show perfect human menstrual cycle. And incidentally, follicle is of 21 medical, and in this particular thing I have shown that normally female menstrual cycle is stopped 5, 8 and 13 days is 26 days, which is defective. But 3 days before that 10 cohorts start, and that is where your hypothalamus comes to play. It starts releasing hormones and it has an effect on pituitary to produce follicular stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, and then ovaries to produce estrogen and progesterone, and also to start a first layer, basilar layer in the endometrium. These are the things which have been missed by every medical person or the person, and I say, unless until you are a spiritual scientist, you understand completely, your knowledge to the world is also defective. This is one correction which needs to be changed in the world to give perfect female menstrual cycle to all the people. And I'm not talking of the medical profession. I want everybody to know, because either we are male or female, and unless until we are good couples, understand this concept, we are going to make all the mistakes. I think this correction is one thing which has made me realize how powerful human brain, human body, human consciousness can give you the knowledge which can bring the change for the self, wife, family, and the world as large. Now come to the question of next stage, which is very, very important for me, is spermatogenesis, formation of perfect human soul. Having done that with the oogenesis in case of female and spermatogenesis, then both are almost identical. I don't have to talk to you about oogenesis. Let me talk about spermatogenesis, where male person comes to play. Now, in this particular thing, I have made one thing very clearly. There are again 10 stages. I have been saying very clearly 22 by 21 is the first stage of creation, Brahman. Then 10 stages of development. Here you can see 10 stages of development in spermatogenesis. What are the 10 stages? First, primordial germ cell, which is the one which starts. Then spermatogonium, mitosis takes place. Then primary spermatocytes are there. Then meiosis 1 is there. Then secondary spermatocytes are there. Then meiosis 2 takes place. Then round spermatids. Then spermatogenesis takes place. Then elongated spermatid and the mature spermatid. Like RBC into 10 stages, here also the 10 stages which I am talking about, I am showing the picture also very clearly. And I think once that is understood, only then you can be a perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise in Svadhisthana Chakra, our sacral cranial parasympathetic system, very clearly. Males and females, what same thing is what Divyank alone. Now the divine design. Testes are shaped exactly like Divyank alone. Length and breadth is identical. And what is very interesting is spermatogonium is the one primordial germ cell from which it arises. It divides 10 times to form 512 mature sperms. Now, one spermatium giving 512, which science has given. It doesn't talk about 256, doesn't talk more than 512, but talks about 512. What is the mathematics in that? That's again I come to show how beautiful is divine mathematics, where science and spirituality are merging together. Like 1 is the first stage, 2 is the second stage, 4th is the third stage, 8 is the fourth stage, 16 is at fifth stage, 32 at the sixth stage, 64 at seventh, 128, 256, 9, 500 is 10 times. The binary division or multiplication are dichotomous divisions. 1 to 2 to 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512 is 10 stages. Again shows in development there are 10 stages. I've shown that again and again and again, so that gets fixed in the eyes of the mind that without divine mathematics we cannot learn perfect physics, chemistry, biology, medicine, psychology. Everything is the same thing. What a beautiful concentration, contemplation and thing which Akhand Vidya is giving about to stuff. And this pictures my Mayala. Now coming to the 7 hormones which play a very important role in spermatogenesis, and same thing plays important role in oogenesis also. Like in hypothalamus, GnRH is the one which is released in smaller quantity, and that is the starting point of hormones, and that is from hypothalamus, which is the Vigyan chakra. Then Vigyan chakras releasing hormones come to anterior pituitary to produce follicular stimulating hormone as well luteinizing hormone in both the males and females. Follicular stimulating hormone is for formation of ovum as well as sperm, and luteinizing is going to give you the hormone part, and testes will give you testosterone, estradiol, and at the same time make it very clear, males have testosterone is produced, but at the same time testosterone through aromatization is converted to estradiol in testes itself. One, that is estradiol which starts rising up as an intelligence to go into the second stage, which I call Brahma Nadi within Sushumna Nadi. And this is what makes the human being perfectly intelligent. Other thing, I'm going to show that picture in the next one, much more concentration, how it is goes up. Then there are other hormones and inhibit. So if you look at the complete picture by and large, let me repeat for the sake of the people who are consciously interested. Tantra is anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, psychology of the human body, which is identical. We will not go into detail. But in the human body, Tantra to be understood, we have to understand what Mooladhara Chakra, which I have shown you how sympathetic balance is there in that, how it can help the whole thing go. In emergency, it can give you do wonders, and in quiet, equilibrium and potential should go simultaneous. Cycle of 90 minutes is very clear in the human body. 45 minutes one side, 45 other side, and both clockwise and anticlockwise sees that energy goes up and comes down, and that's it. From there, the energy moves on to Kundalini, moves through Brahma Granthi into Brahmanadi and to Vaikuntha or ventricles and be a complete. But Svadhisthana Chakra starts only from Sushumna Nadi, which is the beginning, and that is where energy comes, and that energy increased is going to get into Brahma Nadi and give you the very powerful energy of testosterone to estrogen to the intelligent intuition. Otherwise, you have a very perfect, physically strong body, very powerful, very intelligent, and other thing. It is not only dead body, it is perfect, intelligent, intuition, and once that is done, only then you can be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise, and human being. And that exactly my issue is. And same picture you can see Mooladhara at the bottom. Between Mooladhara and Svadhisthana is that Brahmanadi. Now Swadha, these are two I have spoken. Ida, Pingla, Sushmana and other thing. We are going to talk about it. Now we are going to discuss only with Tantra what Satchakra and Nirvana talked about reptilian brain to 10 stages which I am talking, how beautifully we can be one with universal consciousness and be perfectly healthy, wealthy, wise and happy, and that should be the objective with which we should move on. So thank you very much.